Wells Fargo reported a 90% decline in mortgage originations. That is insane.
I believe that.
Be worried. If you want to know if it's true, that's probably true.
People don't want to pay for expensive money, do they? Weird.
I heard there's tons of layoffs that happened at Wells Fargo. Maybe they already happened.
There was a ton that already happened.
Well, they're coming, yeah.
If you follow those, I mean, seems like every week somebody's laying off 800 more people in that industry because the refi business was just printing money. It was, people would call in and say, yep, I want to refi, and it would just write up the deal and everybody'd make money, and it was easy. So they could hire easy. They could, and now it's all purchase business. And I know, Chris, you've probably had the same experience. I have never had more mortgage originators, the mortgage salespeople, call on me than I ever have in the last probably 2 months. I mean, I've got so many mugs laying around my office from all these different mortgage companies and just hey, let's go to coffee. And I got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit resentful of these people because I'm like, where have you been the last 6 years, you jerks? When we were growing our business and all of a sudden now, sure, you want to dive back in and latch your hook onto my moving business. Of course you do. It kind of gets into an odd relationship with lenders and with real estate agents because a lot of people, truly believe they're in cahoots together. They're really not. The RESPA and all these other, federal agencies and local state-sponsored entities that monitor that and regulate that you can't pay to play, right? So there's a clear distinction between, like, if they run an ad together, they have to be 50-50. They have to pay 50-50, and they all share all the leads that come in. On the other hand, when an agent refers you to a loan officer, it has to be out of merit. It has to be because they're good at what they do. You've got past experience with them. And most good real estate agents, I believe that's what they're doing. They're giving you to one or two good loan officers that understand, or you as a buyer, your situation is different. Maybe you have to go off of bank statements, or you have to do something that's unusual that a normal lender that you walk into at the local bank doesn't have for a product.
Having a lender that you've worked with for a long time is talk about merit. I mean, that's a huge thing for us to know that what they're doing, and it's not going to be a surprise at the very end. I mean, we're getting surprises all the time at the end, and people unqualifying, and you know what? I'm not going to do it. It's kind of like, what do you do? And I think now, I don't think people are going to get away with that as much anymore. I think people are going to fight it, force them in which to be able to purchase, where before it was like, all right, let's just get rid of them. Let's put some money in. We'll get it back in the market. And gosh, I'll probably even make more at this time. So I think it's getting back to that where we didn't have that a lot before, because it was the last couple of years. There's just a lot of things that were not fun and great. And that was one of them. It's just like everyone kind of lost their, like sellers are trying to get the most amount of money they can, and they're pitting buyers against each other. Buyers are frustrated because they're losing 5 or 6 or 7 times. And then all of a sudden a little hiccup happens at one point, and then it's like, they just go after each other, and it's just, we need this. It happens. These are cycles. And it's what we go through. And if you have to get rid of your house quicker now, I mean, you have to go with a value price. That's it.
Well, but here's what's crazy though, Chris. Your house has appreciated, what did they say, 100% in the last 7 years? Right. So, when I say boo-hoo, I mean that because you're still in a great equity position. Right. The average Minnesota family last year appreciated $28,000. I mean, this year. Yeah. So far this year. So, and they're anticipating, most people are 2 to 3% appreciation again next year, even amongst all the crazy things going on with